Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. This is Casey, Revelation Watchman 777. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. So if you've been paying attention to my channel on my community posts, you'll know that I have been showing people how these codes that I've discovered have been being used in real time on a day-to-day basis. So once I figured out what they are actually using, it led me to start researching quite a bit on this subject. So that's where I've been the past several days, and that's why I've been quiet. Now, this is a very unique subject, to say the least, and can be a pretty dry subject because it's just numbers. If you don't like numbers or you think you don't understand them, this is probably pretty boring. But I've done my best to try to figure out a way to help you understand what I'm looking at, and I've narrowed these codes down to just a couple of different codes, and I'll explain that later. But I've found some codes here that have really perked up my ears. I know not everything that I'm looking at is going to come true. I'm not trying to predict the future here. Please know that. I'm just showing you patterns that I find very interesting, and I think that you might as well. Now, there's a ton of information that I've pulled up since I've been able to figure out what numbers they're actually using, and there's just so much information that I didn't focus on organizing it all, so you'll have to bear with me on this. A lot of it seems like in random order, but I don't know what else to say. There's just so much information. I apologize in advance. A lot of this is just pieced together, and I'm not the best editor. I don't have an amazing computer. I do all of this off of my phone, so just bear with me. What I'm going to show you is patterns that I've found over the next couple of days that lead up to the 17th. Just a couple of different patterns that we're looking at here, and I've explained them in great detail in the past. So the main ones are the number 86 or 68, number 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6, 216, the 286 patterns, and it's any combination of those three numbers, 826, 682, and the 322, which is the skull and bones number. Those are pretty much, and the other two are the 526 and the 426 codes that I was showing everybody a couple of weeks ago on my community post. So that's basically it. In the past, my theory about Revelation chapter 12. It talks about the wonder in heaven with the woman with the crown of stars. But it goes on and it says, then another wonder appears in heaven, the dragon who flings the stars down to the earth. It says that he tries to devour the child before it is caught up. I don't hear anybody talking about that. I think it's pretty significant. To me, the way I translate that is that, Satan knows that we're about to leave, and he's going to try to do something to prevent it. So, I just think that if things like 9/11 have happened in the past, or the Oklahoma City bombing, or, there's wars going on all around the world, who are we to think that nothing will happen before we leave? Being said, I have a theory that there are a couple of terrorist events that are planned, and I'm not trying to make any predictions. I'm just showing you my observations. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Taking a look at Sunday, July 13th, 13:7. Jerusalem was declared capital 7 years, 7 months, 7 days prior. The war in Israel will be 21 months, 6 days old, 2:16. Israel, 4262. Sunday, Bloody Sunday by the band U2. 42 years, 3 months, 22 days. That's the Skull and Bones code. Sunday, Bloody Sunday, the movie, 1971, 668. Skull and Bones, the Secret Society, will be 193 years, 3 months, 22 days. That's their number, 322. Or 10,086 weeks, 4 days, 86. The movie World War III breaks out from 1962, 22868 days, or 666. World War III from 1998, 7 months, 13 days, 886. The Black Swan from 1942, 30173, 137713, looks very similar. 1987 market crash, 137 on 713, 686. The 9/11 attacks, 2862. Now the Soccer World Cup match will be at MetLife Stadium on this day, which is in New Jersey or New York area. And there's a movie called The Final Score, which is about a terror attack at a soccer match. That'll be 82 months, 6 days old on that day. The movie Boom will be 20868 days. I'm sure we've all heard this song, 99 Left Balloons. It will be 2217 weeks, 3 days on 713. The movie Balloon Farm, 1372 weeks on 713. The first balloon flight ever, 88,322 days. The Department of Homeland Security, 826686. An X-20 flare in 2001, 8668 days. The Solar Flare movie, 6246 days. GPS movie, 6526322. The movie Civil War, 65 weeks, 2 days. The movie Blackout from 1978, 562 weeks, or months, sorry. The Hurricane Hugo Blackout, 13079 days, 713. The Hurricane George Blackout, 86868. The 94 LA earthquake, 526-6426. The 92 LA earthquake on 6/28/268. The movie Earthquake, Fall of LA, 286. The first bell strike by the Big Ben clock, 8662 weeks. And the night the lights went out in Georgia, 286. Monday, July 14, 14-7 or 714. Castle Bravo was the first thermonuclear weapons test. It will be 71 years, 4 months, 13 days old on 714. The Trinity test was the first nuclear plutonium explosion. It will be 417, 4 weeks on 714. The Hiroshima bomb was an atomic bomb dropped on Japan. It will be 4171 weeks on 714. The Nagasaki bomb was another atomic bomb on Japan. That will be 4170 weeks, 4 days on 714. Pearl Harbor, the bombing of Hawaii, was on 12/7/41. Operation Crossroads, which was a multiple day long event with a nuclear airburst and an underwater nuclear test, will be 28868 days. Project 596, the first nuclear weapons test by China, 22186 days, or 60 years, 8 months, 28 days. Canopus, the first hydrogen bomb test by France, 682 months, 20 days, or 682. The Tunguska event was a massive, mysterious cosmic Siberian explosion that will be 117 years, 14 days on 714, or 6106 weeks, 6 days. The movie EMP 333 Days, which is about an electromagnetic pulse device being detonated above the United States, 84 months, 17 days, 417. All right. The Governing Executive Order 13865, which is to coordinate national resilience to EMPs, will be 328 weeks, 6 days on this day. NORAD will be 806 months, 2 days, 286-862. The movie Boom from 68 will be 20868 days. Klaus Schwab's Great Reset speech at the World Economic Forum event, 868-666. U.S. Department of Defense will be 4068 weeks, 2 days old. On with July 14th, we'll start with the 1938 Orson Welles War of the Worlds broadcast. If you're not familiar with this, go look it up online. Basically, Orson Welles got on the radio live and started reading script from this War of the Worlds, and people thought that it was real and it was happening, so everybody freaked out and panicked. That's about the gist of everything I know about that. Anyways, so that will be 3168 days on July 14. The Georgia Guidestones, you've heard me talk about this before probably. They were created by, I believe, the Skull and Bones Secret Society. They left their mark there with the date that it was built at 322. That's their number. Basically, they were these giant stones that they built in Georgia out in the middle of nowhere that had instructions on how to maintain civilization in the case of like a nuclear event or something like that. All right, so they were built on 3/22/80, and the 14th will be 45 years, 3 months, 22 days. They were torn down on July 6, 22. It will be 36 months, 8 days, 6/8. The next day, on July 15th, 15/7, will be 157 weeks, 6 days. All right, a couple of movies. Thief in the Night, 52 years, 3 months, 22 days, 3/22. Vanished in the Night, 8/86. The Second Coming of Christ movie, 26/86. Rapture, a song by Blondie, 2322 weeks. Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, 53 years, 8 months, 6 days. The movie 444 Last Day on Earth, 6/68. The movie I Pet Goat 2, 6/8. Asteroids, Asteroid versus Earth, 8/66. Meteor Apocalypse, 8/26. The First National Meteor Day, 6/68. And Doomsday Rock, 8/6. And a couple of random explosion events. Chase Bake Explosion, 58 weeks, 6 days. And the 2020 Lebanon Explosion, 8/6. All right, so we're going to be looking at Tuesday, July 15th. Now, if you haven't seen my video on June 8th, go check that video out. It shows that there's a lot of things linking back to that date. I figured it was probably the date that Jesus was resurrected or died on the cross. So in the Bible it says that he'll be back in 2,000 years, but before then is the tribulation. So I counted 2,000 years after that date and got 6/8/2032, and then subtracted the period of tribulation, which is 2,025 days, and it landed on July 15th, next Tuesday. So here are the ages of some things that day. Let's start in the middle here. I think you'll be more interested in this first. These are popular movies. Movie Jesus from 1975, 8/66. I'm not going to read all these numbers off, just the ones that have patterns in them. The Second Coming of Christ, 26/88. Harpazo, 8/06. Rapture from 1991, 9/11, 33/624. Rapture from 99, 2625. Now this 2625, I know what this is now. This is the, when you see this 2625 pattern, this is the Aquarius sign, which was back in 1962 on 2562. That's what's being referenced there, 2562. All Dogs Go to Heaven, 8/66. The Great Escape, 8/6/426. Greatest Story Ever Told, 2265. Oh God, You Devil, 1984, 8/6/886. The Life of Jesus, 6/66/268. Jesus Christ Superstar, 8/6. Rapture, 2019, 8/6. Vanishing on 7th Street, on 157, 751 weeks, 5 days, or 5262 days. The Day the World Ended, 6/28. Until the End of the World, 2256. End of the Road, Boys to Men, 2/68. The End, 8/6. The Horn Blows at Midnight, 6/2/25 or 8/6. The Last Day on Earth video game, 4246. Jesus Just Left Chicago by ZZ Top. 7115. 715. Aftermath Population Zero 286. King of Kings 1922 826. Above the Clouds from 1933 86. Now we're going to look at the signs in the sky. The Revelation 12 sign was 7 years, 9 months, 23 days after 9/23/17. The 2017 eclipse will be 2886 days, which is the same age as Donald Trump, similar to Donald Trump's age, 28886 days. And Back to the Future is 2088 weeks, 6 days, just like the eclipse in Donald Trump's age. The 2024 eclipse is 15 months, 7 days after 15/7. Back to the Future, I Pet Goat 2, 322, 562. Follow Babylon from 1919, 86. Suddenly, 868. Sudden Fear from 1952, 86, 26642. Hunger Games, 862, 322. The First Purge, 666, 256, and 68. E.T., look at this one. On 15/7, E.T. will be 15757 or 517 months, 2 days. That one gave me goosebumps. The Death of Muhammad, 726 and 6882. All right, sliding back over here. Israel, 28186 or 4026. See, this has the 86 pattern, the 426 pattern, and the 265 pattern. This one, Donald Trump, 28886, 4126 weeks, that's supposed to be a 5, 4126 and 265. The last Trump from 1914, 110 years, 8 months, 6 days, 413286. The Watchman's Gone, 886, 2686. USA will be 249 years, 11 days, 9/11. Now these next three are just some secret societies, 6246, 8 days. Skull and Bones, 866 or 68. Church of Satan, 60 years, 2 months, 16. That's 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. That's one of their favorite numbers. Mossad, it's like the Israeli CIA, 68. U.S. Army, 86. I'm sorry these are just in random order. It's just so much information. I didn't know how to organize all of it. Isaac Herzog, the President of Israel, 686. He's also 777 months. First 9/11 call, 6886. Pentagon will be 82 years, 6 months. The Emergency Alert System, 886, 286, and 614 is Donald Trump's birthday. The 50 senators were given satellite phones back in 2023. That was 786 days before this date. U.S. Space Force, 5625, 6625. The IDF, Israeli Defense Force, 4246. All right, these are some blackouts, the most notable blackouts. The 97 New York blackout, 175 on 7/15, exactly 48 years. The 2003 Northeast blackout, 8/6, 65 blackout, 8/6. Hurricane Sandy blackout, 4642, and then 216. Hurricane Katrina blackout, 7/26. Lights by Journey. This one's very revealing. 1715 on 7/15. Lights. Also, there was one more. I can't remember it right now. Oh, it was the Super Bowl blackout. From, I think it was 2013, but it was 45-47 days before this. 45-47 is the number that Trump wears on his hat. And then we've got Four of the most populous cities in America. I haven't ran through all of the cities yet. These are just a few of the first ones that I've pulled up. It was just too much work to continue, but you get the gist. Baltimore 886, Los Angeles 68, Chicago 688, Seattle 686. One more to add to July 15th here. 1857 LA earthquake 6866. The Great LA Earthquake movie 2665. LA Apocalypse 86 265 625. The movie Chaos 715 216. California will be 63862 days 86. Seattle 686. Washington Office of Emergency Management 8886. Seattle earthquake of 1965 216. The largest earthquake in Washington 886. All right, 1906 San Francisco earthquake. These are significant earthquakes. 216, 87 San Francisco earthquake, 86. 2014 Napa earthquake, 682. And the 2001 Napa earthquake, 28226. The movie New Madrid from 2009, 862. This one I thought was very interesting. The Maranatha Trench was discovered exactly 100 years, 3 months, 22 days before this day. And the largest earthquake at the Maranatha Trench was 1666 weeks, 2 days. This video by referring you back to the video that I made a few weeks back or a couple months ago regarding the 6-8 pattern that I discovered. 6-8-32 AD. I thought maybe that was the resurrection day or the day that Jesus died, and so I added 2,000 years to that, which is when Jesus said he would come back, and subtracted the duration of the tribulation period, and I got July 15th, 2025. So first I'm going to show you July 16th, and then we'll go into July 15th, but I think this one is a little more important. All right, we're going to start with this. The movie Jesus from 1979 will be 167, which is July 16th, 08 days, 23866. The Second Coming of Christ, 2688. Tribulation movie from 2000. Now this one's interesting. 25 years, 6 months, 2 days. The 1962 Aquarius sign was on 2562. 2562. Now that's also 1,330 weeks, 5 days, which is 1335. Blessed are those that wait and come to the 1335 days. Jesus of Nazareth from 2019. 256 pattern. Jesus from 1999. 322. The red cow. Now we know the heifer still needs to be sacrificed. It'll be 6 years, 6 months, 6 days, or 7, 8 months, 6 days after that movie. Noah's Ark from 1928, 35322. 322, 322, that's the Skull and Bones number. Rapture from 1991, 625 pattern, and 617. Well, that's 7 and 6. 176 is similar to the 167. Vanished into the Night, 526 pattern. Rapture by Blondie, 16256 pattern. Also, Skull and Bones number 23222. The Horn Blows at Midnight, 866, 8226 pattern. The Great Escape, 86, 426. Christus, which is Spanish for Christ, 6462. And the 216 pattern, which is 6 times 6 times 6. Seventh Heaven from 1937. See, there's 322 and 256, and 322 again, and 68. Seventh Heaven from 1927, 866. The Main Event from 1979, 6826, 4624 pattern. The Finish Line from 1989, 86286. The Black Swan, 625. So 1260 days after this date, which is the duration of the first half of tribulation, Israel will be 4206. That's 426 and 265. 1335 days after this, Trump will be 30222 days. That's the skull and bones number, and 82826. The 2017 eclipse will be 2886 days on this day. The 2001 eclipse that happened about 81 days before 9/11, 255 weeks, 6 days, 2556. The movie 444 Last Day on Earth will be 5062 days old. Moving up here, sorry, this is in a weird order. World War I began 5566 weeks, 2 days before this day, and ended 10 years, 11 months, 19 days. It's Thursday, July 17th, 17/7 or 7/17. This day, from the largest earthquake at the Maranatha Trench, which is between Australia and Japan, which was on 8/8/93, will be 11,666 days, or 1,666 weeks, 4 days, or 31 years, 11 months, 9 days, 9/11 backwards. That day is also from the 2011 Japan tsunami, for 8 weeks, 6 days. The movie Tokyo Shaking, 8/6. The 1700 Cascadia earthquake tsunami, 8/8/66. Washington State's age, 135/8/6, 62/86. The wave from 2016, 8/8/6. The killer wave from 2007, 8/6/8. Movie San Andreas, 2/8/6. The Great Los Angeles Earthquake, 8/6. The Quake final episode, 2/8/8/6. 15 Big Ones by the Beach Boys, 8/6/6. 8/6. It Happened One Night, 6/8/6. Sin City, 8/6. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, 6/8/6. The Largest Earthquake in Nevada, 2/8/6. The 1836 San Francisco Earthquake, 8/6/6/6. The movie 3 Days of Darkness, 17/7 on 17/7. Frozen Assets, 17/7. And notice it's also 1776, the year that America was founded. Thursday, July 17th. This is 286 months, 6 days after 9/11, 2866. The Statue of Liberty, 50,666 days. The 2024 New York earthquake that was at Bedminster by Donald Trump's golf course, 66 weeks, 6 days. Maybe earthquake in New York, 2/16. Meteor Man, 6/68, 6/6/6/6. The movie Meteor, 8/6/6. The 1972 Valera Meteor, 2/68. The movie, no, but this is skipping ahead 2 days to July 19th. Don't Look Up, 8/8/6. Impact from 2009, 8/6/6/28. The 2023 Texas Meteor, 8/8/6 days, 2/64. Bart's Comet from The Simpsons, 8/8/6. California, 8/6/6. Oregon, 8/6/8/6/8. These are a couple interesting random facts that I found. Amerigo Vespucci is who America was named after. On this date, on July 17th, he will have been 208677 days. His death, 267866. The movie 2012, 8/8/6/86. That's about global natural disasters. Trump on the escalator. I'm sure we're all familiar with that. 6/8/6. Death of Muhammad. I found this one extremely interesting. 726-886. King Charles to 8006. Some people out there think it's a complete abomination to make a prediction on the date that Jesus is going to return. I don't think it's an abomination. In fact, when Jesus met with the Pharisees, they asked him if he was the Christ, and he was disappointed that they didn't realize that it was time for him to be there. I think Jesus would be thrilled for us to actually be looking up whenever he returns. So I want to know the day, and I know lots of you do too. So what I get from all of this is that they are expecting Jesus to return on the 15th or 16th of July. I may be incorrect. That's just my theory on what I see. So take it or leave it. I could be wrong. I could be right. All I care about is meeting him in the air. And I'm sure that's all you're out there looking for. So pray this is it. Maranatha.